I'm late for Pizza Talk with Dan Hickey. Yeah, hi, it's pizza day. I need one large pizza to the studio stack. Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Pizza Talk. Today we're interviewing Dino Decai of WAVVR, and he makes new age, future fresh punk pop music. And we're going to talk about that today and learn a lot about him. Let's dig in and get some questions down.
Yes, that's about how much I need too. A little bit goes in the collar.
Oh, that's...
And then a little bit goes on the table.
That's efficient, is what that is.
I'm always spilling something on me. You know how it goes.
Again, why don't you take the first slice?
Actually, I'm gonna go for this one. This one was calling my name, I could tell.
Oh yeah? So you've been making music for 20 years now, almost, right?
Yep, since I was been early teen.
And so what did you start out with, just music-wise? Were you in a band? Were you doing solo stuff?
Well,
How did it start?
What it really started with, I mean, I can go back to a tiny baby. My dad was an old hot rodder into rockabilly and all that stuff. And he always had a guitar in my hand. You know, I got baby pictures with a guitar and all that. And so he always had drums and guitars around me. But as it goes, I wasn't too interested in it until about my early teens. And Nirvana had a big thing to do with that. You know, Nirvana was right up my damn alley when it came out. It was like right there. So that's what I started off with, trying to figure out like Nirvana songs. Simple. And that's a very much of a keep it simple kind of thing, you know. He does just verse, chorus, verse style things, which is very easy to pick up on. But then you also find yourself humming these songs when it's not even playing, because like a nursery rhyme just gets in your head. So I got that, you know. I started out with the rock-based instruments.
Okay.
And did that for years. And then it would have been probably about 1999 or 2000 is when I started working with the electronic stuff, synthesizers and drum machines and all that. A lot of it being on the computer, software style stuff. And so I experimented around with that for quite a few years, because that's kind of how it goes with electronic music. It's a lot of experimentation till you figure out what you're doing with it or what you want to do with it.
So you're currently living in Flint, Michigan, is that correct?
Uh-huh.
And how long have you been living there?
Well, born and raised.
Perfect.
I mean, I moved around here and there, but yeah, the majority of my time has been spent there. Most all of my family's there.
Okay, so you're not from Detroit. So you're from Flint. And what's the art and music scene and the culture out there like? Why don't you tell me about that?
Well, there's definitely art culture in Flint, that's for sure. They have an art walk every, I believe it's the first Friday of every month in Flint.
Okay.
I could be wrong. It could be the second Friday of every month. But they have like a whole downtown art walk. All the artists kind of take over the streets and do their thing. Me and one of my friends quite often go up there and just set up our DJ gear and spend time, you know, DJing for a few hours while everybody's walking around. But it's kind of interesting, because Flint is not really that big of a town. And in the past 30 years or so, the population has just dwindled and dwindled and dwindled. I mean, a lot of it's to do with, I guess, GM leaving town and all that kind of thing. I mean, there still is GM activity there. But for as small a population as Flint does have for a bigger type of city, it's actually quite surprising how many artistic people there is, and musicians and visual artists and all that kind of thing.
So this week we're going to be trying out a new segment called Sour Pizza. Our producer, Evan, he's going to come out and ask us a few questions. And if we get it incorrect, we'll have to ingest this unpleasant powder into our bodies.
What was the most popular takeout food in 1993? What's your answer?
Was it pizza?
What's your answer?
Chinese.
I'm afraid the answer is chicken, so you guys both have to take a little bit of
Orange chicken, that's what I meant. General So's.
That's good.
Don't eat all of it in the first one. You still have 5 more questions.
I barely took any.
Oh,
It's for the
it's
it's for the camera.
For the
Oh shit, you
fans.
took a lot of that.
Yes, I did.
Holy
Oh
shit,
my
your tongue is
God.
blue. You have a
What was the name of the first pizzeria in the U.S.? You don't have to hit your hand at the
That's my buzzer.
All right, what's your answer?
Tony's. Pizzeria.
What about you?
And pizza pies.
I'm going to say Salvatore's.
I am sorry, but you guys are both wrong again.
What?
Yeah.
How could it not be
What is it?
Sal's?
It's Lombardio's.
Oh my god, that was my second choice.
That was made up.
Yeah, well.
I don't like this. I don't like putting this into my body.
Oh my god. What is in there?
Don't make me. I don't want to.
It's like it gets worse every hit.
What year was frozen pizza first introduced in the United States? You gonna buzz in?
$19. $73.
Your answer?
1987.
You guys are actually both correct.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
We're both wrong then, right?
You're both wrong.
Was it
Take
the
a hit.
50s?
Yeah, it's 57.
Frozen pizza in 57, really?
Yeah.
They didn't
Wow.
have freezers in the 50s.
That's amazing.
Technology.
All right.
Oh
Yeah,
my
wow.
God.
That's
That's that good stuff?
yeah.
I think that's worse than that one.
What war encouraged the sale of pizza in the United States? He might get it because he's a history buff. So
Which war?
there's only a few wars that happened in America that,
That's not true.
In America?
yeah, in America. Well, no, I don't know.
How many
I
wars
really
were
don't
there,
know.
Evan? How many wars have there been total, by the way? Do you know everything about war?
6 or 7?
Probably about 6 or 7. That sounds
Yeah.
about right. But I'm gonna go ahead and say WW1. Was it WW1?
What's your?
Since he went World War I, I'm going to go World War II.
All right. The answer was. Can I get a drum roll, please? World War II.
We'll put a little bit of each in your hand, and then you can try it for yourself.
Oh, I have tried it.
Yeah, well,
That's a lot.
that's a little bit.
No, it's not. You're just doing this because you've done.
I wanna.
like-
My
I don't
God,
believe you.
That is a lot.
You don't believe me? What?
What's the taste?
You
of?
have to take some too. Your question, you answered wrong.
What the? It's like a lightning bolt
In your mouth.
in my.
It's like a lightning bolt.
That concludes Sour Pizza, ladies and gentlemen. Dan had 0 right, and he loses. And Dino Decay, the winner, the champion, the one and only, wins.
Hey,
Good game, my friend.
excellent game. Thank you, Evan. I really appreciate that.
Real sportsman of you. Now we're going to end this with Evan taking a handful of this. Did he just take that handful and not even react?
Now I'm seeing his eye fucking twitch and shit.
I'm seeing his eye fucking twitch.
Oh my
man.
god. It's really like an aftertaste that just like kicks you in the mouth.
So, I mean, you've mentioned a couple times already that you've worked with other people, and you've tried to have music projects with other people, and they don't seem to last. And you've made music with other people. You have experience making music with other people, and you're basically a one-man band right this second, and you're doing it all by yourself. Do you think that you prefer to work with another person to create things, or other people, or do you like doing it by yourself?
I mean, I enjoy both aspects of it, from having so many years of doing the thing with all the different kinds of bands and people. But when it comes down to songwriting, I felt it's easier for me to just do it myself. So for that, it'd be kind of like songwriting. Yes, I do prefer to do that by myself. And then when it comes down to performing, I definitely prefer to perform with a group,
Okay.
with more than one person. And I ain't against having creative feedback from any musicians that I'm working with. You know, that's all great. I've worked many projects where we 50-50 it and that kind of thing and all mash our ideas together. But I don't know, like personally to myself, when it comes down to it, I'm kind of like, those songs ain't great.
Right. And
Whereas the songs I can spend my personal time. I ain't got to wait for anybody else. I can sit here and spend my entire day working on this my own.
you're big into video games,
Uh-huh.
and you really like video games. What is it about a video game that means something to you?
To me, video games, it's my thing. It's my escape. It's kind of like a drug in a sense. You know, you can get lost in it. It can distract you from a lot of things in your life, which you have to have control over yourself.
Right.
You know, you can't go blaming anybody about anything really, because you have control on everything you do in your life. But video games, I think, it's almost like the pinnacle of entertainment. And a lot of people don't call it art, but I think it's the highest art form, because it mixes every art form all together in one with interactivity.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'm a big movie buff. I've watched so many movies in my lifetime, it's ridiculous. But like at this point in my life, I'm almost bored by movies now,
Okay.
because I just sit there and let it happen to me. I'm not a part of it.
Right. Do you ever think that we, as a human race, will find life in the universe that doesn't exist on Earth? Intelligent life?
Yeah, see, intelligent life would be the main question, because it's guaranteed you are going to find life, whether it's carbon-based life like we know of on Earth or not. I mean, yeah, that's highly probable as well. There is guaranteed life in the universe, and we are the aliens to them,
Of course, yeah.
and they're hoping that we will discover them.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the program. Pizza was great. I had a great time, and I learned a lot, man. Thank you so much.
No problem, I enjoy it.